Hi, my name is Mike Hodder, wine enthusiast and amateur chef working in the wine industry, so my passion is food and wine. I've been cooking for the last 20 years as a passion before it was just a necessity. So now food is a very important part of my life, cooking daily and trying all different cultures. I don't care what it is, I'll try it and I'll try cooking it. So today, first time for Moroccan. This could be very interesting because I've never done this dish, so it'll be a fun time today, and it's always a fun time cooking in Rancho Vignola's kitchen. The ingredients we're going to be using today from Rancho are some beautiful dried apricots, some blanched almonds, dates that we're going to put into the dish just at the end for some sweetness. We've got some salted lemons that'll give us some nice acidity, olives, tomatoes, and harissa. Beautiful paste made out of chili peppers, red peppers, and some spices. We got a little bit of onion, some cauliflower, mushrooms, yams, and a bit of parsnip. As far as the vegetables go, you can use pretty much any vegetable you would like. Today we're using these four as the main ingredients because this is a vegetarian dish. If you want to add meat to it, you can certainly put in meat of any kind. Lamb, goat, chicken, it doesn't matter, and it's also would be good with fish. To start the dish today, we're going to saute some onions quickly. Just put a little bit of olive oil, about a tablespoon of olive oil into the tagine to start with, so that's all the oil we'll use for this dish. And then add some garlic in. This tagine we're using is cast with enamel, so it's a beautiful cooking vessel. It heats up really quickly, it holds its heat, perfect for cooking dishes like this. So next we'll grab a couple tomatoes. These are just canned tomatoes. I bought the Italian ones because I really like the Italian tomatoes. They've got a really beautiful flavor to them. They create a great sauce. They've got lots of sugar in them, so it kind of caramelizes everything. And we'll just kind of let them come together, and this is the basic start of our sauce. The next ingredient we're going to put in is the harissa, made of chili peppers, red peppers, coriander seeds, a little bit of fennel, cardamom, salt and pepper, lemon juice, and garlic. And it's basically the main ingredient. You can buy this in the store as a powder, as a spice powder, or you can buy it in a container where it's made fresh with a bunch of different flavors. This one is red pepper. I made it at home myself. It's pretty simple as long as you have a food processor. So here's the start of our sauce. So once we get the sauce going, we'll slowly start adding the vegetables in. What I've done with the vegetables, the yams and the parsnip, is cooked them for about 5 minutes, took them out and then cooled them down in ice water. I just wanted to cook them off a little bit so we didn't have to wait so long for this dish to come together. You can put them in raw. It would just take an extra half an hour. I'm going to just start to add some stock in here. This is 100% vegetable stock, no salt. We'll salt everything at the end and we'll check it and see how it is. I might put a little salt in once everything's in. Right now everything's coming together pretty nicely. I'm just going to get a spoon. Always have to taste your food. That harissa is really delicious. It's got a really nice kick to it. Using these little red chili peppers, we bought these fresh and then we just dried them. And they definitely have got lots of heat to them. So I only used 3 of them. And that's plenty. This dish is going to have that really nice spice with the sweetness from the fruit. I'm going to throw a little bit of thyme in now just to give it some flavor. I like using thyme. I don't take the stalks off. I'll just put them in, and then just before we start to dish the dish, I'll take the stalks off and all the little leaves will be gone, and then I don't have to strip them, which I don't like doing. I'm going to start adding the mushrooms and cauliflower now. I'm just going to put the lid on for 2 or 3 minutes and show you how it actually works. The steam as it's cooking goes up to the top and then runs back down the side, and that creates the oven. It's always a good way to cook instead of on a stove in a pot. Why not bring out the tagine and have some fun when you're cooking? So we'll give this a couple minutes and then we'll start adding the rest of the ingredients. So you can see how it's dripping down. The steam is creating our moisture. That's exactly what we want. That way we don't have to add too much liquid, and the flavors are all coming up and dropping back down into the dish. So let's start adding some other ingredients in here now. We'll throw our chickpeas in, and the chickpeas are another staple of Morocco. These aren't from a can. I soaked them overnight, rinsed them off, and then cooked them with a bay leaf and a little bit of garlic. I'm just going to add a touch more liquid just to keep it from sticking to the bottom. This will turn into a fairly thick stew, so we want it to be together without adding any kind of a binding agent. So what's going to make this is all the ingredients are slowly going to break down, and we're going to keep the liquid down to a minimal. So I'm going to put the olives in, and that'll give us our saltiness. This will be stewing now for a few minutes, so let's leave the lid on it to create its sauce, and we'll go from there. So here we are, we're about 10 minutes into cooking. Everything's starting to come together. Now we're going to add the dates in. I want them to sort of melt away into the dish and just be in the background, creating this beautiful sweetness. I've added a little bit of preserved lemon to give us some acid. The apricots I'm just going to throw in. This is what the dish was based on, were these apricots. I've had them so many times before, gone to the sales, bought the dried apricots, just eat them out of the bag like candy. But cooking with them, using them in a dish that's savory, this is the sweet portion, so we've done it. We've got sweet and savory. Add a little tiny bit more liquid to bring everything together. Add my mint leaves in, just letting it simmer away here at 300 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to turn it down to 250 and just let it cook slowly. I've just broken one cinnamon stick into thirds, and I'm just going to chuck it in. I'll take it out after when we're finished cooking, and I'm just going to put a few little bits of saffron in. This is for a little bit of color and a little bit of flavor. Very expensive product, but well used. They definitely use it a lot. Okay, so we've waited about 15 minutes and everything should have come together. I'm just going to taste it quickly for seasoning. I think the seasoning is really good. It's not too salty, but the fruit comes out. It's got some nice acidity to it from the preserved lemons. I'm just going to give it a quick squeeze of some lemon juice. It's always good to give a little bit of acid into a dish just before you're serving it. It brings all the flavors out, and then we'll dish it. So I've got some couscous, a little bit of green bell pepper and a little orange bell pepper, Rancho Vignola raisins, and I put a little preserved lemon in this also, and some lemon salt that I found in Richard's salt collection. Everything's cooked really nicely. Sauce is nice and thick, just the way we wanted it. Finish it off with a little bit of parsley just to give it some color. So what I've done is I found this delicious Roussanne Viognier blend. This is a wine that I highly recommend to go with this type of dish. Roussanne is a star with any Moroccan food. So go out and find your local Roussanne. There's some planted out there. Thank you, Rancho Vignola. Thank you, Sue and Richard and the rest of the crew for letting me prepare this dish.